My name is Gavin Evans, and this is a video on me ranking the 4 seasons of the television show Ozark. In this video, we'll have spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, go and watch it, then come back and watch this video. So anyways, in last place, the worst season of Ozark is season 2. Now, as of right now, I watched this season a couple months ago, and when I was planning for this video, I was just like, wait, what happened in this season again? I had to go back and look it up. I'm like, right, this happened and that happened, and my goodness, I forgot almost every single thing that happened in this season. 10 hours long and not anything memorable about it. Most of it is a bunch of boring nonsense with them trying to build the casino and them making deals, and just none of this stuff was engaging to me on any level. And then everything regarding Rachel in this season was really forgettable. She just had zero impact on this show. And then you had that Mason guy go nuts. And that episode was the best episode of this season, but it still wasn't good. And just everything regarding baby Zeke, I couldn't care less about. I don't remember what even happened to baby Zeke in the end. Like, they really wanted you to care for him, but I really don't remember. At the end of season 1, Charlotte accepted to stay with the family, and in this season, they backtrack all of that. And then the one aspect of this season I did like was the fact that they were building Wendy up to be a villain, and they just threw that away in the next season. So even you don't get that from this season anymore, which is more on season 3 than this season, but still. So yeah, I give this season like a 4 out of 10, and when I look back on it, that was being very generous. So that's why season 2 of Ozark is my least favorite. My second least favorite season of Ozark is the latest season, Ozark season 4. Now, this season was released in 2 parts, and if I was counting each half of this season as its own season, part 1 would be at the very top, because it is the show at its peak. Even though it ended on a very weak note, making a baffling, awful decision of a subversion of expectations that did not work for me. And then just everything in the second half of this season just felt like they had no idea what to do anymore. The sister of Navarro is now the main villain, and then all this other stuff is going on, and I just couldn't have cared less about it. They introduce Wendy's dad to make us feel bad for Wendy, but you can see right through that. Then they reintroduce Rachel, who still has zero impact. They have no idea what to do with Ruth, so like they make it seem like she's going to be successful without Marty, and then they just kill her off in the most unsatisfying of ways. And then they just emasculate Marty farther and farther to the point where he doesn't stand up for himself against anyone, making him really unlikable. And then they destroy any bit of character growth with Jonah in 2 seconds. And then by the end of the show, they want us to feel bad for this family, despite them being awful people. The show never holds them accountable. In fact, they try to paint it like it's a happy ending that they're getting away from all this, and they frankly don't deserve that. As much as I like the first half of this season and the character drama and the interweaving storylines, the second half of this season is so bad that it just ruins all of that. And by the time this season ends, it doesn't even feel like the series finale. It just feels like the end of yet another season. By the time this season ended, I felt nothing. I didn't find it to be tense, emotional, just nothing. So that's why it's the second worst season. My second favorite season of this show is Ozark season 1. Now, I don't think this is a great first season by any means necessary. But while I was watching it, I'm just like, okay, let's see what they do with this. I think it sets up the foundation for this show well enough. I think it introduces Ruth and her family very well. I like how we see the partnership of her and Marty beginning this season, and how you do kind of care for them in a mentor student type of way. I think it sets up the conflict with Wendy and Marty very well this season. And it also sets Marty up to be a flawed character. He's smart, he's capable, but he's also naive and has made mistakes in the past that's still costing him to this day. And I love seeing that in action. Now, I did find the excessive amount of side characters to bog this season down. Like, I did not care for anyone who wasn't Marty, Wendy, Charlotte, Jonah, Ruth. Yeah, like I didn't care for anyone else. So, Darlene, didn't care for. Rachel, didn't care for. Mason, didn't care for. Just anyone else who gets introduced as a side character, I just found to be the most bland and generic character that really did nothing for me. The whole plot of Ruth's uncle and the FBI agent just feels like it came out of a totally different show and it never works. And like I said, it's not a great season. There's nothing about this season that's just like, oh yeah, you have to check it out. But if the show got better afterwards, I could say that this was a strong enough foundation, and that's exactly what it is. It's not a great season, but you can see the potential in it. So that's why it's in second place. But the best season of Ozark is Ozark Season 3, which is kind of funny because I still don't think this is all that good of a season. It's fine at best, but it's still got plenty of issues. But let's just talk about the absolute best thing about it, which is Tom Pelphrey's performance. He plays the character of Ben here, and he gives the best performance in the entire show. He just brings this character to life so perfectly, and you feel the pain in his voice in moments, you feel the desperation, you feel the heartbreak. And he was clearly thrown into this season to make things more interesting, and in that, he really succeeded. He added additional tension, he added additional stakes. I like how he added a personal, more emotional angle to the show, because at this point, everyone's gone completely cold to what they do, but Ben does provide some much needed humanity. And I do like how he messes things up so much that they don't know what to do. I do think that makes for some of the most compelling stuff in this show. And I also do like how we see the casino functioning this season. You know, they talked about it so much in season 2 that you're just like, okay, well, it's nice to see it functioning. But just about everything else in this season I found to be very bad. Now, I do like the idea of Helen's kid hanging out with the board's kids, and how the board kids try to keep what her mom does away from her. I do like that idea, but I just don't think it's executed in a way that really has any bit of impact. I thought everything with Navarre and Helen was very generic. The FBI plot I could have never have cared less about. Darlene and Wyatt being a couple here is a huge WTF decision. Like, I don't have anything against age differences, but that's quite excessive. Very excessive. And you just don't buy it. The two characters are just couldn't be more different, and yeah, that whole thing never worked for me. And Wyatt is just not that good of a character at all. I hated how they backtracked the fact that Wendy is clearly a villain at the end of season 2. And yeah, like, it's got some good stuff. It's got some of the best stuff in the show. The performances are good here, especially Tom Pelphrey. It does have some of the most emotional moments of this show. But because there's so much of this other stuff that you don't care about, it kind of gets lost among it all. But I do think if this season was like 7 or 8 40-minute long episodes instead of 10 hour-long episodes, this season would have been much better. You know, there was definitely some great stuff here, but just due to how much more is going on and just all the other characters I don't care about, and just all the other plots I don't care about, that the stuff I do like, mainly regarding Ben, just gets lost in the mix. So that's why season 3 is my favorite season, but it's still not a good season by any means. So yes, those are my ranking of the 4 Ozark seasons. As you can tell, I was not as big on this show as lots of people are, but hey, let me know what your rankings of these seasons are in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.